Shalom, everyone. I'm going to continue on with my reading of the book of Ruth, and now I'm going to read chapter 2. If you want to listen to chapter 1, I will put a link up in the top portion of this video, and you can listen to part 1 first. The book of Ruth, chapter 2. Now Naomi had a kinsman on her husband's side, a man of substance, of the family of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, I would like to go to the fields and glean among the ears of grain behind someone who may show me kindness. Yes, daughter, go, she replied, and off she went. She came and gleaned in a field behind the reapers, and, as luck would have it, it was the piece of land belonging to Boaz, who was of Elimelech's family. Presently Boaz arrived from Bethlehem. He greeted the reapers. The Lord be with you. And they responded, The Lord bless you. Boaz said to the servant, who was in charge of the reapers, Whose girl is that? The servant in charge of the reapers replied, She's a Moabite girl who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab. She said, Please let me glean and gather among the sheaves behind the reapers. She's been on her feet ever since she came this morning. She's rested but little in the hut. Boaz said to Ruth, Listen to me, daughter. Don't go to glean in another field. Don't go elsewhere, but stay here, close to my girls. Keep your eyes on the field they are reaping, and follow them. I have ordered the men not to molest you, and when you are thirsty, go to the jars and drink some of the water that the men have drawn. She prostrated herself with her face to the ground and said to him, Why are you so kind as to single me out when I'm a foreigner? Boaz said in reply, I have been told of all that you did for your mother-in-law after the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother in the land of your birth, and came to a people you had not known before. May the Lord reward your deeds. May you have a full recompense from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have sought refuge. She answered, You are most kind, my lord, to comfort me and to speak gently to your maidservant, though I am not so much as one of your maidservants. At mealtime, Boaz said to her, Come over here and partake of the meal and dip your morsel in the vinegar. So she sat down beside the reapers. He handed her roasted grain, and she ate her fill and had some left over. When she got up again to glean, Boaz gave orders to his workers. You are not only to let her glean among the sheaves without interference, but you must also pull some stalks out of the heaps and leave them for her to glean, and not scold her. She gleaned in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned. It was about an ephah of barley, and carried it back with her to the town. When her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned, and when she also took out and gave her what she had left over after eating her fill, her mother-in-law asked her, Where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be he who took such generous notice of you. So she took her mother-in-law, whom she had worked with, saying, The name of the man with whom I worked today is Boaz. Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord, who has not failed in his kindness to the living or to the dead. For Naomi explained to her daughter-in-law, The man is related to us. He is one of our redeeming kinsmen. Ruth the Moabite said, He even told me, Stay close by my workers until all my harvest is finished. And Naomi answered her daughter-in-law Ruth, It is best, daughter, that you go out with his girls, and not be annoyed in some other field. So she stayed close to the maidservants of Boaz, and gleaned until the barley harvest and the wheat harvest were finished. Then she stayed at home with her mother-in-law. Now, one of the one of my favorite parts of chapter 2 is, let's see, chapter 2, verse, verse 11, where Boaz tells her that, listen, Ruth, I know everything that you did for your mother-in-law after the death of your husband, and how you left both of your parents, and you've come here to a land and a people that you don't know. And Boaz also says, may the Lord reward you, and may you have a full recompense from the Lord. He's basically saying, I hope the Lord gives you a break because you've done such good things. And at the end, it says, may you have a full recompense from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have sought refuge. Now I can say for myself as a convert that my whole life I have felt that the only one who has ever cared for me in such a way is God. I have always felt close to God. Now, I always had a conception of God, but I didn't know which conception of God was the right one until I started studying Judaism when I was in my mid-20s. And that's when I realized that it was the God of Judaism that was the God that had been with me my whole life. And this one passage, as I said, um, Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have sought refuge, that's what I feel like as a convert. I feel like I have gone under God's wings. I've taken this journey, and it's taken me years to figure out, um, you know, where God is and what wing I need to be under, so to speak. And to finally know that this is where I belong is a very happy thing. This book of Ruth it's very short. There's only 2 more chapters left, but it's so significant because it shows how dedicated a convert has to be. I mean, this is not easy work that Ruth is doing out in the field, right? I mean, she's doing back-breaking labor, and she's doing it because she wants to really prove herself. She wants to be a part of the people. She wants to take care of her mother-in-law. She feels this is her path, and she'll just do anything it takes to be with her people. And that is how I feel about my fellow Jews. I do anything to be with my people, whom I've known were my people ever since I was a little girl. I mean, I used to watch images of the Shoah, and I I knew that um, that 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 was my people. Now, I just happened to be talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and some of my relatives died in the Shoah. Um, and it's my conversion is basically a coming home, so to speak, because, I can't prove one way or the other. And it's really amazing that my new friend picked up on this right away. Because he said to me, so you're a convert who, like, has a Jewish family. You kind of do, and you have, like, proof here and there, but you can't totally prove it. And it's like, yeah, that is my circumstance, pretty much. Um, but even without knowing about my relatives who died in the Holocaust. Um, I also um, I've also always felt that affinity to the Jewish people. Even when I was a child, I knew, you know, that the Jewish people were my people, and that, at some point, and then at 18, I had an incredible experience when I went to a synagogue for the very first time in my life. Um, I just, it's been a long journey for me, and I feel like even though it's been a long journey, every day it's always just beginning. That's how I feel about it. Um, and I'm glad that I have a group of people that I can share this with, that I can learn with. And also, I'm glad to see that that circle of people is getting bigger and bigger, you know. Um, Becoming Jewish has made me a more centered, calm, stable, more loving, more concerned human being. And that is, to me, that's a gift. That's a gift from God. It's a gift, it's a reward for following Him and His ways and His Torah. It's you know, um, a friend and I were talking about social anxiety, and I have a lot of social anxiety, but when I think about my relationship with God, a lot of that social anxiety goes away, because I feel like with God, I can do anything. I can handle any situation. I feel strong. I get strength from God. So I hope you enjoyed chapter 2 of the book of Ruth, and I will be reading chapters 3 and the final one, 4, coming up soon. I hope you enjoyed the pictures. I like to have pictures going because I think it makes it a little more interesting. Shalom, everyone.